Okay, if you look at page 27, you will see a graph. Now, notice that where our line crosses the y-axis is the y-intercept, and the x value is 0. Where the graph crosses the x-axis is the x-intercept, and y is 0. So, if we need to find the x-intercept, we let y equal 0, and if we need to find the y-intercept, we let x equal 0. So this graph is the graph of this equation. Now, this equation is in standard form, and when an equation is in standard form, I can find the y-intercept by letting x equal 0. I can find the x-intercept by letting y equal 0. So, to find the x-intercept, I'm going to let y equal 0. This term goes away. 3x equals 6, x equals 2. So my x-intercept is 2, 0. Because when x equals 2, y equals 0. Now, to find my y-intercept, I let x equal 0. So 3 times 0 plus 4y equals 6. That term goes away. 4y equals 6, y equals 3 halves, or 1 1/2. So, to find the x and y intercepts, we just let x equals 0 to find the y-intercept, y equals 0 to find the x-intercept. Now, there's another way to do it. If you're comfortable with saying, okay, I'm going to first let x equal 0, then let y equal 0, and I'm going to show all that work, that's absolutely fine. But another way to do it is to say, you draw a little t-cell. I know I'm going to let x equal 0 to find the y-intercept. I know I'm going to let y equal 0 to find the x-intercept. I know when I let x equal 0, that whole term goes away. So I'm going to cover up that x term when x equals 0, and for y equals 6, I can do that mentally. So y equals 6/4, which is 3 halves. Now, when I let y equals 0, that whole term goes away, and I have 3x equals 6, divide both sides by 3, and x equals 2. This is called the cover-up method, and if you like this method, this is the only work you need to show. The reason I like this is because it gives you the ordered pair. 0, 3 halves, and 2, 0. Okay, my y-intercept, my x-intercept. Okay, now I want you to try, on page 27, you're going to try A, B, C, and D. After you try it, stop the video now. After you try it, replay the video to see if you have it right. So everybody try A, B, C, and D on your own, and then stop the video and turn it back on when you're done. So for A, x minus 2y equals 12. I'm going to use the cover-up method. I'm going to let x equals 0, y equals 0. When x equals 0, I have negative 2y equals 12. Y equals 12 over negative 2, which is negative 6. Okay, then I'm going to let y equal 0, so x equals 12. Okay, and for B, 3x minus 5y equals 9. I'm going to let x equal 0 and y equal 0. When x is 0, this is negative 9/5. And when y is 0, 3x equals 9, x equals 3. Okay? Now, for C, 2x plus 7y equals 10. First I let x equal 0 to find the y-intercept, which is 10/7. Then I'm going to let y equals 0, so 2x equals 10, and the x-intercept is 5. And then finally, D, y equals 9. Well, I know this is a HOI, which is horizontal. It's going to look just like this. It's going to, my y-intercept will be 9. Will there be an x-intercept? No, there won't be. So you just say no x-intercept. Because if it's parallel to the x-axis, it will never cross it. Okay, now turn to page 29 and do checkpoint 1 and 2. And when you're done, start the video up again, see if you got it right. Now, number 1 on page 29 is 2x plus 3y equals 18. When x is 0, y is 6. When y is 0, this is 9. And for number 2, negative 12x minus 4y equals 36. When x is 0, this is negative 9. When y is 0, this is negative 3. So check your answers, make sure they're correct. And now let's look at example 2. So example 2 says, to graph 3.5x plus 2y equals 14. Well, to graph this from standard form, the easiest way to do it is to find the x and y intercepts. Once you know 2 points on a line, you can connect them and you've graphed the line. So you can either follow the work that they give, and they say let y equal 0, and they show that. So x equals 14 over 3.5, which is 4. And then we let x equal 0. That goes away. So y equals 14 over 2, which is 7. Or you can do my way. And when x is 0, y is 7. When y is 0, x is 4. So now I have the points 0, 7, and 4, 0. So go to the graph. Now, it says plot the points that correspond to the intercepts. The x-intercept is 1, 2, 3, 4. So plot the point 4, 0. The y-intercept is 7. So plot the point 0, 7. Now to graph this equation, I just connect the two intercepts, the x and y intercept. Now, something you should also do is pick another point. I'm going to pick when x is 2. Now I'm going to plug in when x is 2 into my equation. So this is 7. If I subtract 7 from both sides, I get 2y equals 7, y equals 3.5. So when x is 2, y is 3.5. And I'm doing this just to check to see if I graphed it correctly. And look, when x is 2, y is 3.5. So it is a good idea to pick another point just to check and make sure you graphed it correctly. Okay, now turn to page 30. And the last thing we're going to do is I've given you an equation and asked for the x and y intercepts. Now I'm going to give you a graph and ask you to identify the x and y intercepts from the graph. So here, where do they cross? Well, it crosses the x-axis at negative 2, 0. So the x-intercept is negative 2. It crosses the y-axis at 2. So the y-intercept is 2. Okay? So you fill that in. And then try checkpoint 3 and 4 on your own. Stop the video, start it again when you're done. So we have 2x minus 7y equals 14. When x is 0, y is negative 2. And when y is 0, x is 7. I go to 0, negative 2. I go to 7, 0. I connect the two, and that's my graph. And then for number 4, it asks you to identify the x and y intercept. From the graph, the y-intercept is 3, and the x-intercept is 1. Okay, so you have completed this. You may start the homework until I tell you to stop.